Well, here we go again. Welcome back to the channel. My name is David Hughes Jr. and in today's video, I will be telling you guys exactly how I learned how to code while working a full-time job. Let's get into the video. Alright, man, welcome to the video, man. Look, before we get started, make sure that you hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you find this information useful. Alright, so I'm gonna get into it. I'm not going to make this too long, but before I really get into the tips, what I want to do is just kind of give you a small background. I work from 7 to 4 most days, and on, let's say, 2 to 3 days out the week, sometimes I had to work from 7 to 10. So that kind of gives you like okay, he works this long, I can do whatever I can do some of this stuff. A lot of, sometimes I work about 9 hours, sometimes I work more, But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the tips. The first thing, wake up earlier, okay? Or go to sleep later. One of the two, whatever works with you. You got to push it a little bit and start with about 30 minutes. So your normal time, let's say I chose to wake up early. So I usually get up at 6 to go to work at 7 because it's only a 5-minute drive. So I was like, okay, cool, let me try 30 minutes. So I went back 5:30, started doing that, did it for a little bit. And then once you work from 5:30, then you work away an hour. Okay, try to get an hour if you can. Now that may not be possible for everybody because sleep is important. Not telling you to, to take yourself out of here early, but what we want you to do is kind of, wake up a little bit early so you can code a little bit more. Okay, that's what you want to do. Because the main thing with people who work a lot like we do is time. Time is not on our side. I mean, you can choose the weekends, but you might have other stuff you need to get done on the weekend that you can do during the weekday. So trying to get up just a little bit earlier or stay up just a little bit later, is key. And you got to start cutting out distractions. You got to cut out distractions. I'm putting this all in one thing. You got to cut out distractions. So if you find yourself on social media, put the social media down. That can be part of your time that you can use to sleep and code. You got to start taking things out that you no longer need, especially if you're working a full-time job, because that should take majority of your time, and then the next time is learning new skills so you can, do something else with your time. You know what I mean? So that is important. That's important. Okay, that's number one. Waking up a little bit early and cutting out those distractions so you can have more time. All right. And so number 2 on the list is finding a way to code at work. Now, like I said, all of these things won't be possible for everybody, but depending on what kind of job you got, you can code a little bit at work. And you may be thinking, how am I supposed to do that? I'm not necessarily saying take a laptop in and start coding on your computer. If you got a desk job, you can do that on. Cool. If you can do that, I can't do that, but if you can, cool. What I would do and what I have done in the past, I bought a book. I never thought I would buy a coding book. It was a JavaScript book, and I kind of put a picture in the link down in the description if you actually want to check that out. It's a pretty good book. But this is what I do. Whatever tool you're using to learn, whether that's a tutorial, whether that's some kind of article, whatever it is, whatever tool you're using to learn, you want to use that book. I'm not a reader, but read about the section that you are currently inside of, like whatever course you're in, whatever video you're watching, whatever that video is teaching you. That's what you want to be reading in the books. That's how I learned. I'm not a guy who's going to take open a book and read it from cover to cover. I feel like you need to see the code being done and then read about the code. That's how I like to do it. Now, for you guys who like books like that, you got it, but I don't. All right. And so what I did was I woke up an hour before. I start, doing my tutorials and stuff. My Udemy courses, a couple videos on YouTube here and there. So I'm looking down coding, right? And then, it's time to go to work. All right, it's time to go to work. All right. In the course, they were teaching me about what? They'll teach me about for loops today. So what I'm gonna do in this page in this book, this section is about for loops. So I'm gonna take the book and I'm gonna read about for loops right there. I'm gonna read about for loops, learn about for loops. Okay, because I just saw a video on it. Now I want to read about it. Put it in my brain. I'm not telling you to get a book and just completely read the thing from cover to cover. I can't learn that way by just seeing it, and reading about it and it's telling me. I need to actually see it being done. It makes more sense. Okay. Makes more sense. All right. Next thing you do, if you're not a book person, is to write it down on paper. Okay. Write things down on paper while you're at work. That's another way you can code or work. Like, you may not be able to bring a book to work. I could bring a book to work, but I couldn't, I'm not gonna be able to bring a laptop to work. I mean, if you got, like, I got patients coming in, it's physical therapy clinic. If I got a book out and like it's empty right now, but I got a patient coming in a few, I can take the book out, read a little bit. I'm not gonna take your phone out, just take the book out, read a little bit, or take a piece of paper out and then code a little bit like that. But if you're somebody, say you work construction or something like that, I think paper and pen is about the best bet. It's paper and pen. You won't be able to do the book way, but paper and pen should work. You're on your lunch break, take out that paper and pen. Okay, my instructor in my course was teaching me about let and const. Let's take it all the way back, okay? Or if you HTML, CSS, I was learning about divs. I was learning about, CSS. I learned about colors. I was learning about whatever it is that you're learning right now. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, whatever, React, whatever it is, write it down on a piece of paper, and then continue to try to mimic what you just read or what you just watched from your instructor. That's what I would do. Okay. So do that. That way you can kind of code a little bit on job. Next thing that you want is to download some kind of app on your phone. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you can't learn code on your phone. Oh, you can't. Look, technology is moving a long way. All right, moving a long way. So what you want to do is get some kind of app on your phone to help you, while you're not in front of your computer screen. A lot of times, that's another thing. You're not going to be always in front of the ideal setup. So you want to be able to look at code, read code, think about code at, any time that you can, right? So I would recommend W3 School Offline for a little bit of reading. And then I recommend Memo for anybody who is, just starting out. And then it kind of just take you from HTML, and then it goes to CSS, and then it goes to JavaScript, and it continues to just go down from there. There's some others out there, but those are two that I would personally recommend to somebody who's just learning. If you want like a code editor, so you going all the way in, you want to actually type code out. A-Code is probably the best in terms of an app. A-Code, Memo, W3 School Offline. That's what I would recommend. Like I said, there are a lot of great apps out there, but those are the three I would recommend right now, especially if you're a beginner starting out with HTML and you're going straight down. That's what I recommend. Anyway, let's go ahead into the next thing is start with the small projects first. And the reason I say that is because small projects, I'm gonna say three: your quiz app, your to-do list, and then your personal portfolio. Those three things I feel like are the best for somebody starting out. And I say that why? Because a quiz app and a to-do list will get you to do every single thing that you need to do in terms of like steps with learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It will get you through those things and help you with those concepts and put them inside of your head. All right. And I recommend small first because time is not on your side necessarily in the beginning when you're trying to learn. And the last thing you want to do is build this huge project going way out there and beyond, and you get to a point and you just get stuck and you quit. Okay. At least with these three things, there's always a way to find the answer. There's thousands upon thousands of quiz apps, thousands to-do lists out there, and thousands of portfolios out there that you can, if you get stuck, you got somewhere to look at, you got a reference that you need, but at the same time, don't look at it first. Try to go out there on your own and knock that thing out. Okay, so try to do it on your own first. And those are the tips that I would recommend to somebody who is working a full-time job. Wake up a little bit earlier, find ways to code while you're on the go and while you're at work. Now, I'm not saying like don't mess your job up now. Don't get yourself fired trying to take out that little piece of paper and like, okay, I really need to code right quick. Don't do that. But I'm saying you get some downtime, just a little bit. You can just take it out, and you don't even necessarily have to write on anything. If you write down something that you learned inside of your course or whatever, just open it up, look at it a little bit, and just it keep your mind on it a little bit, and then close it back up, put it back in your pocket, and go back to work. Just that fast. It's a lot better than saying, "Oh, I'm gonna pull out your phone." That's frowned upon, right? So that's what I would do. And that's what I have done. I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done myself. All right. And so with that being said, if you need any suggestions upon courses and stuff like that, I can make a video on that as well. I have a video on my channel. It's a JavaScript course that I would recommend a lot of you guys check out. Just check out my channel and you'll see the JavaScript review. It's a great course. If you're learning JavaScript right now, man, it's great. I can't even say his name. It's by Jonas, and I can't say his last name, so I won't. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Continue to grind, also continue to shine. My name is Dave Houston, and I'm out.